Showtime Corsetti, and my guest today is Kyle Hart, but we all call him Haddon Township BechWarmer. And you know why he's a bench warmer? Because when he played in Haddon Township, he was on the bench. Ain't that right, Kyle?
That ain't the truth at all, Bob, but thanks for having me on.
You're welcome, Kyle. Now, are you ready now, Kyle? We got some business to take care of today, my man.
Let's do it.
Now, Kyle, we'll start with NBA first. Because I think that's going to be a much shorter topic.
I think so too. We're still early in the off season.
So now I'm gonna get facts from you first, Kyle, since I know more about NBA than you. Do you want us? I want to get on NBA first because before we get in the NBA, I want to get to a very fact. When you played in high school, were you good at basketball?
I was a decent basketball player. I would say I was pretty good.
Well, you can't beat me, but were you good at soccer?
I was pretty good at soccer. I was a good soccer player.
That's why you're always on the losing teams, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Now, what I want to ask you is, can you beat 7'2" Taylor Danaher?
Look, man, anything is possible, and I'm going to give myself a fair shot. I think I can do it.
I think you're going to. I think you're going to.
Game of 1-on-1 to 1 point, and I get the ball first.
No. This game's being the 21.
The odds are going to be in Taylor's favor.
What do you mean 1 point? What are you trying to play? First one scores wins, and he doesn't get a chance to score again? Is that what you're trying to say? No,
That's
21,
exactly what I'm trying to say.
Win by 2. You got the cardio, just run right around them.
That's what I'm going to do.
Now, me on the other hand, I would smoke you, dude.
I don't know about that. We're going to have to test that theory out.
How tall are you, 5'1"?
Yeah, 5'2" with my shoes on.
You really 5'2"?
No, I'm 5'10".
All right. Now, let's get ready in NBA. Are you ready there, BechWarmer?
I'm ready. I'm ready with all my NBA facts.
All right. So let's get into this. First, before we get into James Harden, I really like the hiring of Mr. Nick Nurse.
I do too. I think Nick's a good coach. He made that Raptors team overperform from what they were capable of doing, and I'm hoping he does the same thing with the Sixers.
Now, do you think James Harden gets traded?
I do. I do think he gets traded, but I don't think Morey's just going to trade him for nothing. Morey's going to hang on and make sure he gets a good return. And someone's going to get desperate, and they're going to offer more than he's worth.
Look, I think James Harden gets traded, but it may not be when the season starts. It may be in February. And I don't think James Harden's dumb enough not to play, because if he doesn't, he'll do what Ben Simmons does. And this could be James Harden's last big contract of his career, because he's not that good anymore. He's average. He'll give you assists. He may drop 40 here, and then he'll act like he doesn't know how to play basketball.
Yeah, I think that's right.
If they don't trade him, they say we're not trading you, he's not going to go to Morey and say we're not going to go play, because then Morey will say, okay, we're not paying you. And he wants that 35 or 36?
He's getting 35 or 36 this year, yeah, that's right.
36. We'll just say 36. Or whatever it is. He wants that $36 million.
I don't blame him.
He's not an idiot.
No.
It's one thing a man's not. He might be a conniving little sneak, maybe, but he's not a idiot.
I have a feeling what he might do is, remember when the Sixers traded for Jimmy Butler? Jimmy Butler wanted out from the T-Wolves bad, and he started the season with them. It was pretty early in the season when the Sixers made that trade. Now, because Daryl Morey's going to wait around and make sure he gets a good return back for James Harden, you might see that happen. Sixers start the season with Harden, but he's not going to finish the season with the Sixers.
He wants to go to L.A., but I think Sixers want Paul George. Clippers don't want to give up Paul George. So I don't think Morey's going to trade Harden for a bunch of role players.
Agreed.
Next question. Would you trade James Harden for Zach LaVine?
I would.
Do you think
you get a younger Zach LaVine? He's a good wing player.
Do you think we have a better chance to win a championship with Zach LaVine than James Harden?
It's
Put
a
the
tough
ball
one.
in Maxi's hands.
Yeah, I think you do. I don't think Harden's got it as a number 2 guy. I
Say
really
it
do
with me.
think you
Just
need to move
say
on.
it. Just say Harden stinks.
I'm not saying Harden stinks. Harden's still a good basketball player, but I don't think he's a guy that can lead you to the championship, and that's the unfortunate truth.
Yeah, neither do I. But all right. So, what are we getting to our top 3 seeds?
Top 3 seeds in each conference coming into this season.
I think Bucks, Celtics, and Sixers. But if the Heat get Lillard, then I think they'll pass the Sixers.
Yeah, I would think so too. I like the Bucks to be back near the top. I think with a new coach, you're going to get a motivated Giannis, and that team's going to win north of 50 games. The Celtics are good, right? They're going to get some moves. I think it's probably tough for them to get rid of Marcus Smart, but
But the thing is, after you got 3, don't forget about the Knicks though.
Not forget about the Knicks. I don't think the Knicks can do that, and I'm probably gonna regret being too much of a homer and say that the Sixers get a top 3 seed too. But yeah, the Heat, the Knicks, the Cavs won a lot of games last year too. Who knows? The Cavs could sneak up, win a lot of games, but that's really it.
Bridges Brunson's dirty.
Brunson is dirty.
Now this takes me back to a couple years. If the Sixers never traded Bridges, they could have traded Harden for role players. And then, because Bridges is a star already, then you would have had Bridges, Embiid, Maxey, who's becoming a star, with Harris, with Tucker, with a bunch of role players. Then I would have took the role players from the Clippers because they could help your bench.
Yeah, I agree. And that's the thing. Brunson's Villanova teammate, Bridges, is in the other side of New York in Brooklyn. And the Nets finished the season strong with the roster that they had. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were in the market for some sort of big move this offseason.
Well,
so I wouldn't count them out.
I'm not either, but I'm saying if we had Bridges, and if we still had Bridges, then you could trade Harden. We might not even have Harden at the time, but if we did, could have got rid of him.
I agree.
We need another star, okay? Like, the Nets ain't better than us, but they got a star. The Knicks ain't better than us, I don't think, but they got Brunson, and DiVincenzo's pretty good, and then they got Josh Hart turning into a nice solid bucket, and they got Randall. Randall, I don't think's it. I don't think Barrett's it, but they got some nice players on that team.
They do. And Mitchell Robinson, he's a serviceable center. He's good. He's a good defensive center. He's not going to score you a lot of points, but he's going to cause havoc around the
rim. It's too early to talk about NBA Finals, don't you think?
It is, but look, hey, it's never too early for a prediction of who you think is going to win it all.
I think it's going to be Sixers versus Bron's going back.
You think Bron's going back? Wow.
It's the best of all time. Who do you think the best of all time is? Let me guess. You're a Jordan guy, aren't you?
I'm a LeBron guy.
You think he's the best of all time?
I do. I do think LeBron is the best of all time.
I don't know. I think the Lakers have a chance. I'm just going to go with that because LeBron's my boy and I'm a Sixers fan. And not just that, because I do think
I'm gonna say the Lakers are also a top 3 seed in the West. I think I say them, the Nuggets, and I'm between the Suns and the Warriors. That's a toss up for me. I'm gonna go Warriors because I think there's not enough depth in that Suns team. So you're gonna have some games where guys have some of their stars have to miss. They'll lose some. So I think the Warriors win.
Don't forget about the Nuggets, bro.
Oh, I already said the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets will be back, probably the 1 seed again.
I think it's going to be the top 3 seeds are going to be in that. It's going to be the Nuggets, Lakers, Lakers, Clippers.
Oh, Clippers. That's a good pick.
And 4's coming in as your Phoenix Suns.
Yeah. I think you might get Suns Warriors in the opening round as the 4-5 matchup. That would be a fun one.
Well, we covered our basketball. Now let's get into NFL. Are you ready? You got the divisions there, buddy boy.
Well, I'm ready. Are we jumping right into?
No, we're not jumping right in. We're not jumping right into it yet. You need to relax over there.
All right. I'm getting too excited over here.
Oh, this is the most excited you've been in a long time, Kyle. Like you go to your soccer leagues hoping that you're going to win. It's really not going to happen.
Yeah, sometimes we do.
But at the end of the day, are you ready? First, I want to get into your Eagles training camp. How you think they look? Let's talk about your Eagles. Give it to me. Let's go.
I'm feeling good. I think a lot of teams, when they lose the Super Bowl, they come out flat the next year. I don't think that's happening with the Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts is motivated. He's a leader, and they brought back every big piece that mattered. And they had a great draft.
What are you talking about? They didn't bring back the guy that had like 12 and a half sacks. They went to the 49er, Harfman or Harfgrave, whatever his name was.
Hargrave. Yeah,
Hargrave.
But you're gonna get Jordan Davis in year 2, and you have you got Jalen Carter. So I think they'll be fine on the defensive line. And they still bring back Reddick, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, and now they drafted Nolan Smith. So there's still going to be a really good defensive line.
Anything else you want to say about your Eagles?
I think they're going to be back in the Super Bowl. I'm making that prediction today. The Eagles are going to win the NFC. The NFC's weak on the quarterback front. All the good quarterbacks are in the AFC. So Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFC, and they're still really good on both sides of the football. The Eagles back in the Super Bowl.
Are you ready now for my team?
I'm ready. You want to discuss the Denver Broncos?
I'm going to discuss the Denver Broncos. I think the Broncos are getting back in the postseason for the first time in 7 years. I think Russell Wilson's going to have an MVP-type season. I think...
The new coach?
Can I finish?
Yes.
I think Sean Payton, one of the best coaches in NFL history. What do you think? I wouldn't go history, but up there, maybe top 10, top 5.
I think he's overrated.
Overrated? Well, you're about to find out, my man. You're about to find out, aren't you?
He won 1 Super Bowl with Drew Brees, had him for a lot of years, and only won 1. I think only got to 1. So
yeah, and at the end of the day, Sean Payton's bringing the Broncos back to the Super Bowl.
Hey, that's a tough division and a tough conference to get through.
Broncos might get in the playoffs, but I don't know if they'll go to the Super Bowl. Probably be Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs-Eagles rematch. But
that means they got to get through the wild. That means they have to take a wild card spot and have some road games. It's a tough road ahead.
They're not good. They're not better than the Chiefs. What are you talking about? Chiefs have Jones. Chiefs have a better quarterback. Chiefs have better offensive line. I wouldn't say Chiefs have a better defense, but
but there's a reason.
Chiefs have a better kicker since the Broncos dumb self wanted to cut McManus.
Is McManus gone?
Yeah, he's on the Jaguars now.
Oh, you know that McManus is a local guy. He's a Philly guy. Played at Temple.
He doesn't want to go to the Eagles.
No, Eagles don't want him. We have Jake Elliott.
McManus is better than Elliott.
We can agree to disagree on that one because he is not.
Imagine how many kicks he's going to make in Jacksonville.
A lot, because he's got Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson. That offense is going to score a lot of points. He's going to get a lot of opportunities.
Let's talk. I think Broncos. Tim Patrick's coming back. Javonte Williams is coming back. The quarterback, Russell Wilson, is going to be leaving darts between them. And I think the Broncos will make the playoffs.
You think so?
I do. They got the best.
Well, then
they got the best corner in the NFL, Surtain.
Yeah, Surtain's good.
Better than your corners.
Slay and Bradbury are both pretty good, but
they're not better than Slay. I mean, they're not better than Surtain.
But it's one of the best duos.
Yeah, our other corner is Ronald Darby.
And Darby's awful.
Unless they cut him.
I hated Ronald Darby.
They might have waived him. They might have waived him. I don't know.
I don't know. For their sake, they did.
What?
I said I hope for the Broncos' sake that they waived him. He's not good.
All right, are you ready to talk about divisions? Bring up your first division you got. Let's start with the NFC first.
NFC? I'll start with the NFC East because it's an easy one. I picked the Eagles to the Super Bowl. I'm picking the Eagles to win the NFC East.
I want to see how many divisions you're gonna have them win. Not division. What's their record gonna be? Come on, Kyle. I know you're gonna have them go like they play 18 weeks, right? 70 games. You're gonna probably have them go 17-0. So let me hear it.
No. I'm gonna go with they went 14-3 last year. Schedule's a little tougher this year. I'm gonna say 13-4, and they win the division that way.
So, go your division. I want to hear it.
It's going to be tough. So, I mean, the Eagles win it, and then it goes Cowboys, Giants, Commanders in that order. That's what it goes.
I agree with you.
You agree with that? All right, let's go.
Well, because Cowboys are clearly the second best team in the division. The Giants, I'm still not fair. I think Daniel Jones stinks, and they paid him 4 years. I still think they might get in the playoffs. Just because the bottom of the NFC stinks. and Commanders, until they get a quarterback, they're never going to be a threat. But maybe the guy they got from North Carolina, I think it was, Sam Howell, I don't know what college he went to, but if it was North Carolina, whatever it was, maybe he's their man. Last game of the year against Dallas, I know it was one game, but he teared them up. He had like over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. So maybe they found somebody.
It's possible.
Maybe. We'll see. If they didn't, then they're screwed again. But if they found someone, then they could be in good shape. Let's go to next division.
Next, we'll go NFC North.
I got...
This one's tough, because first year without Aaron Rodgers in a long time. It's about as wide open as it can get. And it's been a popular take. But I'm going to ride with it, and I'm going to say that the Detroit Lions come up on top and win that division.
Who do you got next?
I'm probably going to go Vikings because I think they're overrated, but they still bring back enough. Kirk Cousins is a solid quarterback.
Well,
he's probably going to win you like 9 games.
Well, guess what? I'm about to shock you with my pick. Go ahead. Tell me your third one.
Third, I'm taking the Chicago Bears. I think they had a rough last season, but they're going to be a lot better. And then I'm putting the Packers in last, I think.
All right.
That's it.
I'm going to shock you with my pick. First place, I have the Detroit Lions.
Oh, you like the Lions too here.
Second place, I have the Chicago Bears.
Oh, I like that pick.
Justin Fields showed me last year that he can ball.
Yeah.
And third place, I have... Before I get to third place, I'm not saying the Vikings can't make the playoffs. It's going to be close. But I think the Bears with their young receivers and other guy and their young receivers. But they don't have Montgomery anymore. He was a big part of their team.
Yeah.
So, first year without him.
Fields makes a big leap, though.
But they didn't... I had Montgomery on my fantasy, and they didn't really use him a lot. They used the other guy until he got hurt. They used Justin Fields with a lot of that. They used him, but they used Justin Fields with a lot of that draw play. Acting like you're handing it off and he runs it.
Yeah.
And then I got the Vikings and then the Packers.
Yeah, all right, so we're pretty close there.
Don't be shocked with the Packers, though. Packers could easily make a nice run if Jordan Love is good because they still have a good running game.
That's true. Although the sample size that we've seen of Jordan Love hasn't been that impressive.
He played one game against the Eagles and teared their defense up.
Yeah, he's. I don't think Jordan Love is it. I don't think he's it.
Let's just move on.
Okay.
I think Jordan Love's gonna have a pretty solid season. We can agree to disagree. BechWarmer.
Yeah, if we can, and I'm gonna say. I mean, you picked the Packers to be last anyway, so that's it.
You're right, I did.
Let's move on to the NFC South.
But my doctor's a Packers fan. I feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got a good history, but
this is out to you.
Yeah.
Next one I got. Next division's the West, right?
Oh yeah, we can go West next.
You know what? Let's go North next.
Oh, we said the North. We're going to do the South.
Not South. I meant.
Yeah. All right. NFC
no, listen,
South.
Kyle. I told you let's go South. You said North.
Okay.
Go first. Who you got finishing in first?
This division is a toss-up because it stinks. But I think I'm going to go Saints to win the division.
Saints?
The Saints. I mean, look, the Buccaneers, I think they're going to be terrible. But they're rocking who? Baker Mayfield at quarterback. Is that who's going to win the starting job? Yeah, the Bucs are going to stink. The Falcons, I think they're trying to lose. And they got Desmond Ritter. They're not going to be anything good. So in between the Saints and the Panthers, and I actually do kind of like the Panthers, but I think the Saints come out on top there. Panthers come in second, Falcons third, and the Bucs are just going to pull the rear of that division.
I think you're a little nuts on that one, buddy.
Really? Who are you taking?
Look. Let me hear it out for a second. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Buccaneers still have a nasty receiver gain, right?
You got no one to throw the ball.
Can I finish?
Yes.
What? Can you shut up for 10 seconds? Are you ready? I think winning that division is the Buccaneers. Because. Let me finish. You're trying to interrupt me over here. Baker Mayfield is going to be the guy to throw the ball. You know what? It might even be Kyle Trask, the guy who went to Florida. Boom, he's good to receivers. Look at that. Boom. But at the end of the day, Buccaneers will squeak out of first place because they got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin nasty on the outside. They're winning the division. Then the Saints. Then the Panthers. Games. Then the Falcons. What?
They won 8 games last year with Tom Brady.
Tom Brady was washed.
Tom Brady's way better than Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield's going to try to win it with this team.
Hey, man, maybe you're going to be right, but I picked them last.
They're better than the Falcons.
I don't know.
They still have a good defense.
When the defense is on the field a lot because the offense can't move the ball, the defense starts to look worse.
Now they're about to put on Bird Huddle. This is what I do when that shows up. Click. Do you hear what I just said?
I didn't.
I said now they put on Bird Huddle on my TV. You know what I do? Click.
Yeah, next.
Next. Don't want to. You know, my Uncle Parson the other day, he's like, I'm done talking about the Phillies. He's like, aren't you excited for Eagles training camp? I'm like, I could care less. I said, I'm not saying that to be rude or anything, but I don't care about the Broncos training camp. I said, it's a bunch of guys bashing into each other, practicing. It's no football. I'm like, even when the Broncos and Eagles start, I'm still not that excited. I'm still in the baseball mode. You know that.
Yeah. I get excited for the football, though.
Yeah, because you're a football fan. Like, we know you. You're a front runner when it comes to the Phillies. You jump on. You say, look at me. I'm a Phillies fan. But you're actually a front runner fan.
No, man. I'm Phillies till I die.
Front runner Phillies fan. That's okay, though.
Uh-huh.
There's some people like you we need. And
for sure.
And you're that guy, Kyle. You're that guy. You're the very important guy I respect. So when the Phillies are in the playoffs, you're like, remember Hector the heart attack?
Oh, yeah. To never forget Hector heart attack.
You didn't know. Oh. Are you... So, right. So we got one more division to start in the NFC. Give it to me.
In the West. I think it's hard to not pick the 49ers. to win that division. They're good. So I think I think they finished second in the NFC behind the Eagles, but they're going to win their division. Then I got the Seahawks second, Rams third, Cardinals fourth.
No, I'm going to have to disagree with you again.
All right.
I got the 49ers first. I got, not that part, I got the Rams coming back healthy and making it second. They could even win the division, but I don't see them better than the 49ers. Have you forgot they were hurt last year, buddy?
I know they were hurt last year.
If Stafford comes back along with Kupp and their receivers, they're deadly.
They are, but they're getting old.
Old?
And think about the receivers on the Seahawks. They got DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and who is it? They draft Jackson
Look,
Smith.
I could care less about the Seahawks. I'm just telling you what I think, and I think the Rams are coming back and they making a playoff push.
I could see that. I don't hate that take.
I'm not saying a playoff push, but a chance to get into playoffs. Matthew Stafford proves when he's not throwing the ball into the other defender's hands. Here, buddy. When he's not throwing the ball into the other defender's hands, he's pretty good.
Yeah, and he's going to get his favorite target back, Cooper Kupp. He's
going to get his touchdowns and his interceptions. He might have like 30 touchdowns and 30 picks.
Yeah,
I still think he's a good quarterback. He has one Super Bowl ring. He's one more Super Bowl ring than Jalen Hurts.
He has.
All right, let's go. Go ahead, but let me hear this.
I'll say, but Jalen Hurts is young, so Stafford took a while to get there.
He was on the Lions his whole career, buddy. Relax.
Mm-hmm.
It was with Megatron. When Megatron retired, that was the stunnest thing I ever seen.
That was a stunner.
That reminds me of Andrew Luck retired.
Yeah.
Dude, those two were like deadly gods together.
They were.
Now, let's go to the AFC. We'll do my division last.
Okay, we'll save yours for last. We'll start with the AFC East then.
All right.
This one's gonna be one of the most interesting divisions here. I think the Bills still come out on top of that division. I think you're gonna get a healthy Josh Allen back. They've got a great defense. They're well coached.
You're getting my boy back. You're getting my boy back. Von the Tank Miller.
Yeah. So I feel like the Bills pulled that one out. I want to take the Dolphins second. Dolphins are loaded with weapons, and hopefully Tua stays healthy and doesn't get a bunch of concussions this year. And I think they make that division close, but they still come in second.
Do you think the Jets make the playoffs?
I don't think the Jets make the playoffs, but I think they come in third in that division, and the Patriots come in last.
That's what I agree with you.
Yeah.
Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. Because Patriots don't have a quarterback. It's a shame they have a nice team now, but they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't think Mac Jones is the answer, and I don't think Zeppi's the answer.
And they don't really have a wide receiver, and that's a shame. They don't really have weapons for those guys. That's part of the issue.
All right. Next division. Give it to me.
AFC North.
Go ahead.
All right. Here's one. I think the Bengals are too consistent, too strong. They come out on top. I'm going to take the Ravens in second. I think the Browns jump the Steelers this year, and I think the Steelers pull up the rear. So I'm going to go Bengals, Ravens, Browns, Steelers.
Man. I'm going to go Bengals, Steelers.
Wow.
Ravens, Browns.
You like Kenny Pickett?
I think Kenny Pickett's going to have a good year.
Yeah.
That's just my hot take. And the Ravens are good. Deshaun Watson coming after the year Texans. I could see him winning that division. Though.
Wow.
I could see Lamar winning that division. But I think
exactly.
I think the Steelers are a pretty decent team. They're pretty, I wouldn't say deep, but last year Mike Tomlin never has a losing season, and I don't see it happening again.
No.
Now, you're right. They could still finish in fourth. I think this division could be close. But
it will be. That's one of the toughest divisions in football. So the AFC's tough all around.
North, then you went East.
Except the next division, because we're saving yours for last.
What is
The
it?
AFC South.
This stinks.
This is the worst division in football.
No, it ain't.
But
No, it ain't.
what's worse?
The Buccaneers division.
That's true. I take that back. That is the worst one because all four teams stink. All four of those teams stink. But the AFC South, there's one good team coached by one of my favorite coaches of all time, in Doug Peterson, and one of my favorite young quarterbacks in the league, leading that team in Trevor Lawrence.
Who do you think wins the division?
The Jaguars won that division easily.
Then who?
Ooh. Then we're talking three bad teams. I think the Titans.
Bad.
Still
the Titans ain't bad.
They ain't good. I mean, do you really believe in Tannehill?
Look, let me ask you a question. What the Jaguars do last year? I know they made it to the second round, but if the Titans can find their quarterback, don't forget they got Hopkins on their team. He's a monster.
I know.
If they get a quarterback, do you realize how dangerous it's going to... I do think the Jaguars win that division, but do you know how dangerous it's going to open up their passing game?
I know. That's the thing. They're still riding with Tannehill as far as I know. Right? Or did they draft Will Levis?
Yeah.
So, but he's gonna be on the bench behind, and the rookie's not gonna lead them past the Jags. So, I'm sticking Jags there. Texans, and I think the Texans are gonna finish ahead of the Colts, and Colts are gonna be in last.
Now, you know what? I'm gonna shock some people here. I think Jaguars coming first, and I do think Titans coming second. I think Colts coming third, but I think Colts have a pretty good year with my boy Richardson.
Oh, see, I don't like Richardson.
I don't care who you like.
I'm saying I'm just not a fan.
Let's go to my division.
All right, your division. Here we go. It's hard. You can't pick anybody but the Chiefs. Chiefs come out on top of that division. Here's the thing. I think the Raiders come in last. So for that second place spot, you're between the Broncos and the Chargers.
Before you say anything, I'll tell you when I go. Go ahead. Go.
All right. So you're between the Chargers and the Broncos. And I'll go on the record saying I'm not a big Justin Herbert guy. Look, everyone talks about Matt Ryan blowing the 28-3 in the Super Bowl, but Justin Herbert blew a 27-0 lead last year. And no one really talks about that. And I think the Chargers are a little weak, and I'll take the Broncos second. I'll give Sean Payton a little credit. I'll give him the ability to work with Russell Wilson, give him a little comeback year. And that team and the Broncos finish second, Chargers third.
Think the Broncos make the playoffs?
I don't. I don't think they make the playoffs.
Dude.
Maybe as a 7 seed. We'll do after you talk about and pick your division. Then we'll go through and pick the 7
I agree with
playoff
you.
seeds.
I think the Chargers and Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders. I think the Chargers and Broncos are going to be close all year, but I think the Broncos will beat them because they usually beat them at home. They beat them home usually, and they'll lose in LA. And a lot of times they beat them in LA. Like the last couple of years, besides last year, they swept them. So, because I think the Chargers coach is an idiot. So,
yeah, I'm not a Brandon Staley guy.
If he doesn't make it far this year, I think he's fired.
Yeah. Arguably should be gone already, but yeah, I think he's not the guy.
I don't think the Chargers are weak. I think if they had a good coach, I think they should have tried to win after Sean Payton, but the Broncos beat him to the punch.
Yeah.
He was the best free agent coach in football. They probably don't want to give up a first-round pick. But the Broncos said, coaches win football games. And the Broncos said, we need a coach.
Yeah.
Well, at least all that's behind the Broncos. Next year, they get a first-round pick back. All right.
Need that.
So now what are we discussing?
So, playoff teams. I mean, who we think makes the playoffs? So, we got our 4 division winners, right? So we know, starting with the NFC, we've got the Eagles, Lions, and then I'm going to take the Saints and 49ers, right? They're all in because we have them winning the division, or I've been winning the division. Now, your 3 wild card teams. I'm going to take the Cowboys. They'll be the first wild card team. I'm going to take the Seahawks as the next wild card team. And then here's a crazy one. Here is a crazy one. Give me the Chicago Bears as the 7th seed.
You said you had them finishing in 3rd.
I did. You know what? Fine. I'll take the Vikings as a 7th seed. Then the Bears will jump in the playoffs next year. Next season.
You can change your prediction. Just agree with me. Say Bears pass the Vikings.
Nah. I think the Vikings, they get that 7th seed.
It's okay, Kyle, if you want to admit I'm right. For all my viewers to hear me. You know what, Kyle, since we're on. Why don't we put a little wager on the 2nd place team?
Okay. Well, that's assuming we're assuming the Lions just win, but yeah.
What if the Lions don't win the division and the Bears do?
Well, we'll just put a little wager here. Who finishes higher on the division?
Bears or Lions?
The Bears or the Bears or the Vikings? I'll take the Vikings. You take the Bears.
Pizza and wings.
Pizza and wings.
Now, how about this? I got something better. Set pizza and wings. If I win, you got to buy me a dinner. But if you win, I got to buy you a dinner.
That works for me. We're on. It's a deal.
So now we can't back out because all the viewers have heard, Kyle.
They're all listening. They all know.
All my 0 fans watching right now.
The multiple zeros, hundreds of them.
What?
All the hundreds of your fans.
I don't get 100. I got 59 subscribers, Kyle.
All right.
It's gonna come though.
It will.
Are you ready? So now it's my turn for the NFC, right?
It is.
I think the Eagles get the 1 seed. 49ers get the 2 seed. 49ers get the 2 seed. Let's see. I'm gonna put Buccaneers at 4. I'm gonna put North. Oh yeah, North. And I'm gonna put the Lions at the 3 seed. I did that right. And 5 got Dallas. 6 got Seattle. 7 got Chicago.
Chicago in the playoffs as the 7th seed. Woo.
And 7, they might even bounce in, win the first game, go to Philly, and upset your Eagles.
That's not going to happen. Let's be real.
Probably not, but now let's go to the AFC. Go first.
All right, AFC. Oh, man. I guess I'm taking Chiefs 1 seed. It's boring, but how do you pick against those guys? And then on the 2 seed, I'm going to take the Bengals, 3 Bills, and then 4 Jaguars. Actually, scratch that. I'm taking 3 Jaguars, 4 Bills. I'm going to go 5 Dolphins, 6 Ravens, and then, you know what, Bub? I'm gonna throw you a bone here and say that your 7th seed in the AFC is the Denver Broncos.
You don't have the Browns making the playoffs?
No, I don't have the Browns making the playoffs.
Not the Chargers?
I don't have the Chargers. Well, I got the Chargers finishing behind the Broncos in the division, so I'm taking the Broncos.
Mm-hmm. I got Chiefs 1 seed, Bills 2nd seed, Bengals 3rd seed. Jaguars 4 because they're not better than the big dogs. Okay? One day you understand. They're not better than the big dogs. Remember that.
No.
And then 5th seed, I got Miami. 6th seed. Who'd you go for the 6th seed?
I said the Ravens.
6 seed. No, I want to do something different. I ain't gonna copy you. 6 seed. You know what? 6 seed. I'm gonna go. Not Jets. I'm gonna go. 6 seed. Well, I can't do Browns because I got. Oh, that's right. 6 seed. I'm gonna have the Steelers.
Wow. Okay.
7 seed. I'm gonna have the Broncos. Well, I can't do Ravens. I have Steelers finishing second. What's sense for that?
I know.
What sense would that make? And this is just for fun. We could be wrong. Who cares? Who cares?
That's what predictions are all about. That's the best part about predictions.
And I got the Broncos upsetting everyone and going to Super Bowl.
Really? You really think the Broncos are going to be in the Super Bowl?
You said Eagles, so I'm saying Broncos.
All right, hey, look, but the Eagles were just there, and the Eagles are good.
What if it was Broncos-Eagles Super Bowl?
Oh, that's an easy one for the Eagles.
I wouldn't say that.
Just give me the Lombardi now.
Broncos got a better coach than the Eagles.
No, they don't. All right, it's like I said, I'm on the Sean Payton is overrated train. I'm the captain of that ship.
Dude, he's not overrated, bro.
Uh,
He's a Super Bowl. He's a football genius.
He's a football genius.
He's gonna make. I think Russell Wilson's gonna win MVP. The whole league.
You really think Russell Wilson's going to MVP? I think that guy's washed.
He's coming back, and when he wins MVP, you're gonna say, "How'd you know, Bob?" And I'll say, "Because he's in the best shape of his life, mate."
Heard that one before.
Kyle. Okay. Did we discuss everything we talked about?
I think we discussed everything we needed to talk about on this episode, you know?
All right, Kyle. Thanks for joining me on the Bubcast. Don't hang up yet,
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Don't hang up yet.
All right.
Thanks for, in like a minute you can.
Okay.
Thanks for joining me on the Bubcast, Kyle. Anything you want to say to my fans before I end this?
I just want to say, go Birds. The Eagles are winning the Super Bowl.
Go Broncos. They're winning the Super Bowl. Thank you for joining me today, Kyle. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me.
Bob, Billy, Showtime, Corsetti is out. And we hit our